Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. As you all know, we are packing up. We're heading to Colorado here a couple days. I don't know when this video is going to go out, but a couple days from now, we're taking the Jeep, heading to Colorado, doing an off-grid trip, and we're going to be hitting up the Overland Mountain West Expo up in Loveland, Colorado. I will be there on that Saturday, so should be a good time. But I figured, while I got kind of everything sprawled out all over the place, I wanted to show you guys what goes into or how I pack the Jeep for an off-grid trip. So we're gonna go through, we'll tear everything out, make sure it all works, clean up what needs to be cleaned up, and start packing this thing up. There's a lot of stuff that goes into a tiny space for sure with this Jeep on my trips. I am a heavy packer. I like to say I could just grab a backpack with like a t-shirt, a pair of shorts, and a toothbrush and just go wherever I want, but no, I pretty much pack the entire house. So it gets a little tight in there, but we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna dive in and start getting this thing ready. Should be a good trip. All right, so obviously the main parts of it are sleeping bag. This is my little sleep sack. I'm not taking the diesel heater because it's not supposed to be super cold. I think we're going to Leadville first, so the temperature is going to be about 70s during the day and then 40s at night. So this little sleep sack here is awesome. It actually keeps me pretty warm, and that with the sleeping bag makes a huge difference as well. This is not my winter bag. I do have a bigger one that is a lot thicker. My winter sleeping bag is a lot thicker, so it keeps me warm no matter what, along with the diesel heater. So the combination of those is good, but it's going to be some cool weather, so we're going to go with this. I'll have this just in case I start to get really cold. I can get inside of this and we'll be good. As far as everything else goes, I got my tent stakes. I use these on the back of the Jeep for if it's raining, I'll put my rain fly up. That way I have like shelter behind me. And then I also have the side awning that I open up. Kind of goes into like a little resort, you know. I did buy one of these the last time I went to Colorado. It's just a water jug. I think it holds like 4 gallons. Really nice. Problem is I'm super clumsy, and actually the morning I was leaving for Colorado the first time, I dropped it, busted the spigot. So be happy to try this thing out again and see how it does, but this is going to be my water container. I normally have, where to go? Normally I'll just go to Aldi's and pick up one of these or 2 of these. But normally, like I said, I am clumsy, so I wind up dropping them, crushing the lid. It's just kind of my thing. Of course, picked up some extra, I use the 5-gallon toilet buckets, so picked up some extra bags, got the old dude wipes. We are gonna be in bear country, so a good can of bear spray, and I will be packing some heat other ways, just in case. Never want an intruder in camp, never been planning on doing anything crazy, but first line of defense, and then second line, you know how that works. As far as tools go, I pack out just a normal assortment of hand tools. Got my impact because we do have onboard air in the Jeep for tire changes or any kind of big parts. Pry bars, longer ratchets, hammer of course. I'm switching out my sun faded oil, which I used a little bit on one trip. So either way, we'll have a new jug. I always like to keep spare oil with me in my spare tire bag. I also keep transmission fluid, transfer case fluid, which is the same fluid, and a small thing of brake fluid. So just in case something goes wrong, hopefully everything's covered. If you guys watch Vice Grip Garage, you'll know we have the tune-up in a can. I always run a can of this when I'm going on long drives, just because it helps keep everything clean, keeps the Jeep running really good. We're taking rain gear. I have this cool little, I just purchased this, so it'll be nice to see how this works. Just a big water jug. When I bought it, I didn't know that it came in an insulated bag, so I figured I'd get like a bright color, just in case I, set it down somewhere. That way I'd be able to find it, but then it came with this, so it kind of hides it, so we'll see how that works. This is good for hikes, and it's got a nice little carabiner on it, little grab handle, strap, it's all good. Holds a lot of water. We'll see how she does. I have a smaller cooler and a normal size cooler. I'm probably just going to use this one. I use this for all my like dry goods, so breads, pancake mixes, really anything that I don't need to keep refrigerated that can stay relative temperature, I use in there. I don't put ice in there, of course, because I have a refrigerator for all my cold goods. What else we got going on here? That's pretty much it. I wish I could have everything laid out on like a huge table somewhere, but now I have this in the way. But normally I would kind of like lay things out in here, have it nice and organized, but we got a roadblock in the way. So let's go out here and check out the Jeep. We'll pull stuff out of it. So normally when I get home from a trip, everything comes out, everything gets cleaned up, and this way I don't have to do a ton of cleaning before I go on my next trip. So it's always a nice thing to do is just take everything out, wipe it down. I usually put the back seat back in because, you know, the family, we like to go on little drives and stuff, so having the back seat in is good. But I take the bottom part out and then I fold the top down, so this is a nice flat surface. But as you can see, we got the old toilet here, and then we'll just start pulling stuff out. So got my chair, it's caught on something. Oh, well, that's cool. There we go. And the camp table. Like I said, folks, I am clumsy. You stay with you. So this is the hose setup for my shower system. I will be filling my shower with water so I can take showers on the road. So definitely need to make sure that stays in. Here's my recovery bag, all my winch gear, and then I also have my spare tire or fix a flat kit, whatever you want to call it. It's got all that kind of good stuff in it. I will be bringing all my heat shields to put up so I can sleep in the Jeep. Plenty of privacy, keep it nice and cool in here. These things, again, if you don't know, check them out. Heatshieldstore.com, I believe, is their website. I did a video not too long ago on reviewing these with a giveaway. So you're a little late for the giveaway, but you can see how good these are. These things are awesome, highly recommend. Down here, we won't talk about this. This is my Colorado early retirement program. So, you know, when you go to Colorado, you gotta take one of these. Like I said, with the back seat, I thought about leaving this in so I'd have somewhere nice to sleep, because I am stopping in Hays, Kansas on my way out. I've decided I'm going to take it out like normal, just have the nice back down as a platform. I packed too much stuff, and this really isn't wide enough. I mean, it's super soft and comfortable, but it's just not wide enough because I'd have so much stuff back here anyway. I'm just going to take it out. So this is how I run it. For those of you that didn't know, I actually have onboard air in here, and it's behind the seat. Nice and convenient, keeps it all tucked away. And this whole tray system back here is removable. So all I gotta do, unhook the plug right there, and I can pull the whole system out. But yeah, nice little hidden onboard air system. Works really good. I'm happy with it. If you haven't seen it, check out the video on it. But this will be basically my bed platform for sleeping in the car just a couple nights because of travel. Other than that, we are going to be using the tent for sure. Which I do need to open that up and get it aired out, dried out, and ready to go. Alright, well, I went ahead and just did a little light vacuum on everything here, front and back. Pulled the front floor mat out, cleaned it up, but we're going to start filling this space back up. It's going to fill it pretty quick, and then when I get to where I'm going for my first, because I'm leaving halfway through the day on one day, so I'm going to wind up camping at like a rest stop or something. So this will be the bed area for that one night. So everything that'll be here will then go up into the front seats, just enough to make a little pocket for me to cozy down for the night. So we got the jack in. I know it's tiny, it's not a high lift or anything, but it does work. Block of wood just in case I got to get it, you know, a little bit higher, but it does lift each corner of the Jeep if I have to change a tire we're good. So we'll put our recovery bag back in. I made sure everything was packed up in here. We got I do run the wireless winch controller, but I also have the corded one. I've got a snatch block, tow strap, and that'll stay right down there. Actually, we'll put this guy back underneath it like it was. See, right out the gate, screwing up. For all you long timers, you'll know that these rips came from when I smacked the garage door. I had this stuff on top of the Jeep backing in, so the side awning did the damage up there, but this also got hit. Make sure this guy's topped off. Never want to get out and run out of stuff in here. These are probably, oh, these are still good. Alright, these are pretty good too. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of these. Just in a pinch, I used these before I built my shower system, but in a pinch, these are awesome. I'm not going to use all these, it's just nice to have extra. Never know, you might have a bad dinner at camp one night, who knows. Always get the lid so you can keep your stuff in there too. That way nothing's falling out on you. I am taking rain gear. They are calling for some thunderstorms while we're out there, so packed up rain gear is always nice to have. This I'm just going to put in there now as empty, just to kind of give you guys the effect. I still got to run to the store, make a list of goodies. I try to keep this guy up here in the front, just in case I want some snacks on the road. But you can see it fills up quick. So when I get to where I'm going, I'll just take this stuff here, move it up here to the front, sleep back here. I have slept in the passenger seat before. Not very comfortable. So when it comes to the flammable stuff, like the propane for cooking, you know, the bear spray, I'm taking the propane with the torch. I'm not planning on having any kind of a campfire. There are a lot of fire restrictions going on, and there's also some wildfires going on out there, and I don't want no part of it. So if we decide to have a campfire, it's going to be small, it's going to be very contained, but I don't plan on doing it. But I also like to take the torch with me. In the event something breaks and you got to get a bolt off or it's rusty, you can heat it up. It's nice to have, but I primarily use it for starting campfires. It's just a lot easier. I mean, I'm driving a vehicle. I don't find it necessary to bring like flint steel and earwax wrapped with cotton balls to start a fire when you can easily just throw this in the back of your car. That's just me, I don't know. But this stuff here, this will stay inside. It's not supposed to be above 120 degrees. I do have all my shades up on the Jeep, but I don't like to risk it. So it'll stay in here. Morning of the trip, she gets packed away. But everything else is pretty much cleared out. All my camp pots and pans, this is just my regular flat top, and I got my cast iron. This stuff goes in the spare tire carrier. And then all my other pots and pans are stored in a Tupperware that I use for like washing stuff, cutting board, all that kind of good stuff. But everything's pretty much packed away. Down in here, I like to pull my lights out, my fans. I got 2 lights and a fan. I will recharge these, have them all ready to go. This is pretty much just my spare parts. I got a pack away shovel, hatchet, extra U-joints up here, spare valve stem caps, tie rods, hose clamps, and then I also have like a radiator hose sleeve kit in case you blow a radiator hose. Always nice to have extra stuff. In here, basically, this is my rain fly that I can put up on the back in case it's raining. Got the torch attachment, clamps, light holders, spare bags, bunch of rope, and then all my pots and pans and plates, they'll come out, I'll wash them up. All my spices, make sure they're good. Hand sanitizers, cups, bowls, water bladder, and then knives, utensils. All this stuff gets cleaned when I get home from a trip, and then I'll give it a good once over after. Charging stuff, lug nuts for sockets for lug nuts, headlamp, cords, all that kind of good stuff. Jackery's charging up. This is my emergency jumper box. I always make sure this is nice and charged. And then over here, pry bars, all that kind of stuff. I have another solar light with a charger. And then air hose, air chuck for tires. And then right down here is where this guy right here goes. So now that I'm the owner of 2 Jackeries, it's kind of panning out kind of nice, even though it was a debacle. The 1000 runs the refrigerator, and then I can charge my phone, my laptop, my GoPro batteries, all that kind of stuff. That's primarily for that. And then now what I do is I also bring my 500, and I would normally run it for the diesel heater, because I know that that thing can run all night without using hardly just like 10% of the battery off the Jackery. So I'll have unlimited heat basically for as long as I can, and then all I gotta do is just tap into the charging system on there and charge that other Jackery back up. But for this trip, since I don't need the diesel heater, what I'm going to do is the whole time I'm out there, I can run my WeBoost cell signal booster off of it, because that again barely uses any power. And then some of the remote spots we get into, I can flip that thing on, not have to worry about it draining the other Jackery, the 1000, or normally I'll run it off the battery of the Jeep itself with the power port on the back. Normally I don't run it, all day, all night. If I need to send a text or check in on things at home, I can just turn that thing on, get all the data I need, and then just turn it back off. But with having the Jackery 500 now as like a backup, I'm gonna go ahead and just run it the whole time I'm out there, just so I can, make phone calls back home, make sure everything's going good, and watch YouTube videos. So that just happened. Don't know what that's all about, but hopefully everybody down there is okay. As far as the Jeep goes, she's pretty much packed. So besides from just a few odds and ends, like my carry bag with all my clothes, toiletry bag, that's pretty much the rundown on any given trip. Depending on the weather, like I said, I'm gonna take the diesel heater, then that would have to go in there. I'm pretty good at Tetris, not the game, but in real life. So I can pack this thing pretty darn tight, especially if it's in the winter time, because I'll be running my bigger sleeping bag, which takes up way more space. And then on top of that, if I'm running the annex that goes underneath the tent, that bag is massive, so that takes up even more space. So a lot of the small stuff carries over to the passenger seat, but because I am going to be sleeping in the back of the Jeep for 2 nights, one night, like I said, going out, I'm just gonna drive halfway, sleep in a rest area. I don't want to get the tent out for that. it's just too much of a pain in the butt, and it's gonna be around midnight when I'm pulling in. So I can just move some stuff to the front seat, sleep in the middle of the back seat, and then I can hit the road again at like, you know, 5, 6, 7 a.m. the next morning. The other night is gonna be the Saturday night after the event. We're gonna be heading back down to Denver, find somewhere to sleep, and honestly, that night I'm not looking forward to it, because as soon as we find a spot, going to bed, because I'm waking up at probably 2 or 3 in the morning, and then straight shot drive all the way back home because I got to work the next day. So as far as the Jeep goes, that's pretty much it. Everything's packed in there. Everything's looking good. We'll go through, give everything a system test. We'll run the fridge for a while, make sure it works. Take the Jeep out, put some miles on it, make sure everything's cool. As far as mechanically goes, you saw in the last video, everything checked out on that. We did an oil change. We checked the transfer case, changed that fluid. Transmission's good. Axles are good. I mean, there's not much else you can do. I try to prepare as best I can and then just pray for the best. Little rig's been a good rig. She gets me everywhere I want to go, and we have a good time. So, what a little unit though. I'm so happy with this thing, you guys. And it just goes to show that, like I said, a small garage, basic tools, a lot of effort, not a lot of money. You can go out and have fun. Just get out there and do it. I've seen people that will take just like a Geo Metro and go out and have the time of their lives. So, and I've also seen people in, you know, Sprinter vans that are just living like kings. So we'll just keep doing that. We got the Cherokee, we're good. That's gonna do it. I just wanted to show you guys real quick kind of what's involved and what I pack as far as my overlanding trips go. And there you have it. I don't have a lot, but I do have a lot. Kind of makes sense. As for how these videos are coming out, I'm not sure how I'm doing it. Haven't quite made it that far in the thought process, but this video will probably come out probably sometime around when I'm on the trip or after the trip. I don't know. So if I got to meet you while you're out there, it was awesome meeting you, talking to you. If I missed out on seeing you, sorry, but I will be out there. Keep an eye out for the Jeep. Hopefully I get, you know, if you're watching and you're bumping into me, awesome. Love to meet people like that, you know, that are into the channel, into the build process. But that's gonna do it. So we pretty much got everything packed except for the small stuff, and nothing left to do now but to get out there on the road. So you guys, as always, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. See you in the next video.